The Rise and Reign of the Mammals by Steve Brusatte. Summary and Analysis by Brev Reds. Chapter 1. In the Shadows of Giants. Imagine the world 200 million years ago. The Earth was ruled by giant, terrifying creatures, dinosaurs. Mammals at that time were tiny, furry, and lived in the shadows. They were mostly nocturnal, scurrying around in the dark, trying to stay out of sight and survive on scraps. Why? Because these early mammals had to stay hidden from the massive predators roaming the land. But even in these early, humble beginnings, the mammals were incredibly smart and adaptable. Lesson of adaptability. One of the biggest reasons mammals survived through such hostile conditions was their ability to adapt. Unlike dinosaurs, which were often dependent on one type of food, one type of climate, or one type of environment, mammals could change their ways. They could live in trees, burrow underground, and even make the most of the night when most predators were asleep. Think about that for a moment. Today, the ability to adapt is still one of the most crucial survival skills. In your own life, whether it's a new school, a tough subject, or even navigating relationships with friends and family, being adaptable will help you thrive. Anecdote: the rat-sized mammals that ate dinosaurs. One of the surprising things Brusatte tells us is that even during the time of dinosaurs, mammals weren't always the underdogs. A species known as Mammals was actually large enough to hunt small dinosaurs. Imagine a mammal the size of a badger hunting tiny raptors. This shows that even in a world dominated by giants, these sneaky little creatures found a way to strike back. Chapter 2. The Fall of the Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs seemed unstoppable. They were everywhere, on land, in the air, and even some swimming in the oceans. But then came the day everything changed. Around 66 million years ago, a giant asteroid struck the Earth. This impact was so catastrophic that it wiped out 75% of all species, including almost every dinosaur. The sky filled with dust, blocking the sun, and the Earth plunged into darkness. Plants died, the temperature plummeted, and ecosystems collapsed. This mass extinction event, known as the Cretaceous-Paleogene (KPG) extinction, was the dinosaurs' final blow. Why mammals survived: resilience in hard times. Mammals, still small and seemingly insignificant, managed to survive when the dinosaurs couldn't. Their ability to live off various foods, insects, seeds, roots, their underground burrowing habits, and their resistance to the sudden cold made them well-suited to weather the storm. It wasn't that they were stronger. It was that they could endure. Think of this like tough times in your own life. Sometimes things seem overwhelming, but those who can adjust, keep moving, and stay resilient are the ones who make it through. Fun fact: dinosaurs' demise wasn't instant. Even though the asteroid hit was a sudden event, the actual extinction of dinosaurs took some time. Over weeks, months, and even years, the world became a harder and harder place for them to live. The skies were so clogged with debris from the asteroid that sunlight couldn't reach the Earth. Without sunlight, plants started to die off, and without plants, herbivores died off, and without herbivores, carnivores went extinct. It was like a chain reaction of doom. Chapter 3. Mammals take over. Once the dinosaurs were gone, the mammals seized the opportunity. With the land cleared of giant predators, mammals began to evolve rapidly. They grew bigger, became more specialized, and started to take over different ecological niches. Some went back into the water, becoming whales and dolphins. Others took to the trees, evolving into early primates. The mammals were everywhere now. Evolution, small changes, big impact. This period of rapid change in mammals shows just how powerful evolution can be. Tiny changes, like a longer tail, sharper teeth, or better senses, gave certain mammals an edge over others. Over millions of years, these small differences added up, creating entirely new species. Take this lesson and think about it in your own life. Small changes, like learning a new skill, making healthier choices, or improving your mindset, can make a huge difference over time. Anecdote: the first primates. Some of the first mammals to climb trees were the ancestors of primates. Yes, our ancestors. They developed special hands and feet that helped them grab onto branches, and over time, their brains started to grow larger. It wasn't much at first, but these early tree dwellers were the very beginning of what would eventually become monkeys, apes, and humans. One of the coolest facts here is how these early primates had to be extra careful because, even though the dinosaurs were gone, other dangerous predators still roam the earth. Chapter 4: The Giants Return, Mammoths and Mastodons. Fast forward millions of years. The mammals have taken over, and some of them are huge. The Ice Age gave rise to some incredible creatures: mammoths, mastodons, and giant sloths. These animals were built to survive cold climates, with thick fur and huge bodies that helped them conserve heat. Mammoths, for example, roamed the earth in herds, using their massive tusks to dig through snow to find food. They were the kings of the Ice Age, the power of cooperation. One of the reasons why animals like mammoths and bison survived for so long was because they traveled in groups. There's strength in numbers. A lone mammoth might fall prey to a pack of saber-toothed cats, but a herd of mammoths? Not so easy. In your life, this can be seen in teamwork, whether it's in sports, school projects, or even just helping out at home. Working together often brings better results than going it alone. Anecdote: the hunt for mammoth ivory. For thousands of years, humans hunted mammoths for their meat and tusks. But in a strange twist of history, today people are still hunting mammoths, not for meat, but for the ivory from their tusks. In places like Siberia, the frozen bodies of mammoths are preserved in the permafrost, and modern-day treasure hunters dig them up to sell their ivory. It's like digging for fossils, but these ancient remains are often astonishingly well preserved, as if frozen in time. Chapter 5: The Rise of Humans. As time went on, one group of mammals began to stand out: humans. The evolutionary path that led to humans began about 6 to 7 million years ago, with species of primates starting to walk on two legs. This might not seem like a big deal, but it changed everything. Walking on two legs freed up the hands for using tools, carrying things, and developing finer motor skills. Our brains started growing too, leading to better problem-solving, communication, and eventually civilization. Tool use and innovation. Humans weren't the first animals to use tools. Certain birds, monkeys, and even dolphins used them. But humans took tool-making to a whole new level. Early humans learned to sharpen stones for hunting and cutting. Then they figured out how to make fire, and eventually they started building complex societies. This innovation is what set humans apart from other mammals. The lesson here? Never underestimate the power of creativity and problem-solving. Whether it's inventing new technology, finding a solution to a difficult problem, or even coming up with a better way to study, thinking outside the box can lead to incredible results. Anecdote: the Neanderthal brain power. Speaking of humans, did you know that Neanderthals, one of our closest relatives, actually had bigger brains than we do? It's true. Despite their large brains, they went extinct around 40,000 years ago, while Homo sapiens survived. What's interesting is that Neanderthals were highly intelligent, made tools, and even buried their dead. Some scientists think that early humans outlasted Neanderthals because we were better at cooperating in larger groups. Once again, teamwork and social bonds proved essential for survival. Chapter 6: The Age of Giants and the Tiny Winners. Millions of years after the dinosaurs, mammals ruled the earth, and they came in all sizes. While the mammoths and mastodons towered over the land, some of the most successful mammals were much smaller. Species like rodents, early marsupials, and insectivores thrived in environments where large animals couldn't. This part of the story is a reminder that bigger isn't always better. In fact, the small, nimble creatures were often the most adaptable. Lesson: thrive in different niches. These small mammals could live in diverse environments: tropical rainforests, arid deserts, or chilly mountain ranges, thanks to their adaptability. This allowed them to thrive when conditions changed. The lesson here is that success often comes from being flexible and finding your own niche. In today's fast-changing world, the ability to thrive in different situations is just as valuable. Whether it's at school, work, or in your personal life, finding your unique strengths and applying them wherever you can will help you excel. Anecdote: the spread of the tiny masters. Rats and mice are among the most successful mammals on Earth. They have colonized every continent except Antarctica, and they've done so because of their adaptability. These tiny mammals are experts at living in human environments, surviving in the tiniest cracks of buildings, feeding off human scraps, and reproducing at astonishing rates. Today, rats outnumber humans in many cities, making them one of the most widespread mammals on the planet. Chapter 7: How Mammals Came to Rule the Water. On land, mammals were thriving, but some of the most fascinating adaptations took place in the water. Whales, dolphins, and manatees all descended from land mammals. Over millions of years, these creatures evolved to lose their legs, streamline their bodies, and develop fins. Their ancestors, once walking on land, returned to the sea and became the dominant marine predators. Lesson: sometimes going backwards is moving forwards. Whales are a great example of how life can evolve in unexpected ways. They didn't always live in the ocean. Their ancestors walked on land. But their return to the sea allowed them to thrive in an environment with plenty of food and fewer predators. This shows that sometimes the best way to move forward is to embrace change, even if it seems like you're going backwards. In life, this might mean trying a different approach when things aren't working out, or even returning to something familiar to find new opportunities. Fun fact: the Ambulocetus, a walking whale. One of the earliest ancestors of modern whales is the Ambulocetus, also known as the walking whale. It had legs and could swim in water but also walk on land. It looked like a cross between a crocodile and a seal. This creature shows that evolution doesn't happen all at once. Whales didn't just jump from land to water overnight. It took millions of years of gradual changes. Chapter 8: The Rise of Predators, Cats and Dogs. If you've ever owned a cat or a dog, you're living with some of the most successful predators on Earth. Cats and dogs are both part of the mammalian order Carnivora, a group of mammals that evolved to become the top hunters in various environments. Big cats like lions and tigers dominate in the savannas and jungles, while wolves, foxes, and other canines rule forests and tundras. Strategy of the hunters: specialization. One of the reasons why cats and dogs are so successful as predators is their specialization. Cats evolved sharp claws, stealth, and extraordinary agility. Dogs developed stamina for long chases, teamwork in hunting packs, and a keen sense of smell. Specialization is key to success. Instead of trying to be good at everything, these animals focused on becoming the best at specific things, whether it's sprinting after prey, stalking silently, or outlasting their target. In your life, consider focusing on what you're best at, rather than spreading yourself too thin. Master one thing at a time. Anecdote: the saber-toothed tiger's misfortune. The famous saber-toothed tiger, or Smilodon, was one of the most fearsome predators during the Ice Age. But despite its impressive fangs, this big cat eventually went extinct. Why? Because it was too specialized. Smilodon's teeth were perfect for hunting large prey like mammoths and giant sloths, but when the Ice Age ended and those animals disappeared, the saber-toothed tiger couldn't adapt fast enough. This shows that while specialization is important, being too specialized can sometimes be a disadvantage if conditions change drastically. Chapter 9: From the Treetops to the Ground, The Rise of Primates. Humans aren't the only primates, of course. Primates as a group have a long and fascinating history, and it all began in the trees. The earliest primates evolved grasping hands and feet to live in the branches, and big brains to navigate complex environments. Over time, some primates came down from the trees, while others, like monkeys and apes, stayed put. The power of intelligence and social bonds. Primates evolved larger brains than other mammals, which allowed them to solve problems, use tools, and form complex social groups. Intelligence gave them an edge in surviving difficult environments. But even more importantly, their social bonds helped them work together. Chimps, for example, are known to use teamwork when hunting or defending their group. They also share food and care for each other's young. The lesson here is that intelligence combined with cooperation is a recipe for success. In our own lives, solving problems and building strong relationships with others can help us achieve our goals. Fun fact: early tool-using monkeys. It wasn't just early humans who used tools. There are still primates today, like capuchin monkeys, that use rocks to crack open nuts or sticks to catch insects. These behaviors are passed down from generation to generation, showing that learning and culture exist in other species too, not just in humans. It's a reminder that innovation and learning are at the heart of what it means to be a primate. Chapter 10: The Age of Elephants, Giants of the Land. Elephants are one of the most iconic land mammals alive today, and their history goes back millions of years. They belong to a group called Proboscidans, which included other now extinct species like mastodons and woolly mammoths. Over time, elephants have evolved to become highly intelligent social animals that live in family groups and have complex emotional lives. Intelligence and memory. Elephants are known for their incredible memories, which allow them to remember the location of watering holes, migration routes, and even other elephants they haven't seen in years. Their intelligence rivals that of primates, and they use this brain power to solve problems, communicate, and form social bonds. In your own life, memory and intelligence play a key role in learning and achieving long-term goals. Like elephants, learning how to remember and apply what you've learned over time is crucial. Anecdote: the mourning elephants. Elephants have been observed mourning their dead. When an elephant dies, members of its herd often gather around the body, touching it with their trunks and even covering it with leaves or dirt. Sometimes they return to the same spot years later, as if paying respects to their lost companion. This shows just how deep their emotional lives are. It's a reminder of the importance of empathy and connection with others, something we can all learn from. Chapter 11. The mammals who conquered the skies. When you think of mammals, flying creatures like bats might not immediately come to mind. But bats are one of the most successful and diverse groups of mammals. They evolved the ability to fly millions of years ago, giving them access to a whole new world of food and shelter. Today, bats are found all over the world, and they play a vital role in ecosystems by pollinating plants and controlling insect populations. Lesson: find your own path. Bats are a great example of mammals that found a completely unique way to thrive. While most mammals were busy walking on land or swimming in water, bats took to the skies. This shows that sometimes finding success means taking an unexpected or unusual path. Whether it's a hobby you're passionate about or a unique skill that sets you apart, don't be afraid to pursue what makes you different. Fun fact: bats' superpowers. Bats have a fascinating ability called echolocation, which allows them to see in the dark. They emit high-pitched sounds that bounce off objects, and by listening to the echoes, bats can pinpoint exactly where their prey is. This skill gives them a huge advantage in hunting insects at night. It's like having a superpower that lets them navigate even when it's pitch black. It's a reminder that sometimes our unique abilities, whether it's creativity, problem-solving, or perseverance, can help us succeed in ways others might not expect. Chapter 12. The Rise of Humans, the Ultimate Mammal. Humans are the last chapter in the story of mammalian evolution, but our journey is just as fascinating as that of our animal cousins. Our species, Homo sapiens, evolved from earlier primates and shared a common ancestor with chimpanzees around 6 to 7 million years ago. But it was only in the last 200,000 years that modern humans appeared. What set us apart wasn't just our intelligence, it was our ability to adapt, communicate, and cooperate. The power of communication. One of the key traits that helped humans rise to dominance is our ability to communicate in complex ways. Early humans developed language, which allowed them to share knowledge, pass down stories, and work together in larger groups. This was revolutionary, because it meant that humans didn't have to rely solely on their instincts to survive. They could learn from each other and adapt quickly to new environments. Communication and storytelling are vital even today. Whether you're trying to express your ideas in a project, collaborate with others, or simply connect with friends, communication is the key. It's one of the reasons why humans were able to outlast other species like the Neanderthals. Our social networks and shared knowledge gave us an edge. Anecdote: the art of early humans. Early humans weren't just hunters and gatherers, they were also artists. In caves around the world, from Europe to Africa, early humans painted scenes of animals, hunts, and even handprints on the walls. These ancient works of art, some dating back over 40,000 years, show that creativity and self-expression are deeply ingrained in us. This artistic nature set humans apart from other mammals, revealing not just our need to survive, but our desire to create and share our experiences. Chapter 13. The Ice Age ends, a world transformed. The end of the Ice Age, about 10,000 years ago, marked a huge turning point in the history of mammals. As the ice sheets melted and temperatures rose, the world's ecosystems changed. Many of the large mammals of the Ice Age, like mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and giant ground sloths, went extinct. But humans thrived. As the ice melted, humans began to settle in one place, rather than constantly migrating in search of food. This led to the development of agriculture, cities, and eventually civilizations. Humans had officially shifted from being nomadic hunters and gatherers to becoming farmers and builders of societies. Lesson: adapt to changing environments. The mammals that survived the end of the Ice Age were those that could adapt to a warmer, greener world. Just as the woolly mammoth couldn't survive without the cold tundra, some species went extinct because they couldn't adjust to the new conditions. In contrast, humans adapted by changing their lifestyle completely, learning to cultivate crops and domesticate animals. Change is inevitable, and adapting to new environments is crucial for success. Whether it's a new school, a new job, or even a new challenge in life, the ability to adjust will help you grow and thrive, just as it helped early humans dominate after the Ice Age. Anecdote: the domestication of the dog. One of the most important partnerships in history began during this time, the domestication of the dog. Wolves, attracted by human settlements and the food scraps they produced, started hanging around early human campsites. Over time, the most friendly and cooperative wolves began to form bonds with humans. This relationship turned into a partnership, with humans providing food and shelter in exchange for protection and help in hunting. Dogs became man's best friend, and today they are still one of the most loyal and successful species thanks to this ancient partnership. Chapter 14: Modern Mammals, Still Evolving. Even though humans have drastically changed the world, evolution hasn't stopped. Mammals are still evolving, finding new ways to survive in modern environments, both natural and human-made. Some species have learned to live alongside humans, while others continue to thrive in the wild. Evolution is a never-ending process, and mammals continue to adapt to their surroundings. Lesson: never stop adapting. Even today, mammals are adapting to the rapid changes caused by human activity. Take urban animals, for example. Raccoons, pigeons, and rats have all adapted to life in cities. They've learned to find food in garbage, build nests in abandoned buildings, and even navigate busy streets. This ability to thrive in a completely new environment is a powerful reminder that adaptability is key to long-term success. In your own life, things are constantly changing, whether it's technology, social trends, or even the expectations you face. Just like modern mammals, you can adapt by staying open to new experiences, learning new skills, and embracing change. Fun fact: elephants evolving without tusks. In some parts of Africa, elephants have been evolving in a surprising way. Many are now being born without tusks. This is likely a result of poaching, as elephants with tusks are more likely to be hunted for their ivory. Over generations, the elephants without tusks, who are less likely to be killed by poachers, have become more common. It's a clear example of how evolution continues to shape life on Earth, even in response to human activity. Chapter 15: The Future of Mammals. The future of mammals, including humans, is uncertain. Climate change, habitat destruction, and human activities are threatening many species. Some mammals are on the brink of extinction, while others are adapting to a rapidly changing world. What happens next depends largely on us. Humans have the power to protect or destroy the world's ecosystems. Conservation efforts are more important than ever, as many species face challenges they've never encountered before. If we want to ensure that mammals continue to thrive, we need to protect the environment, reduce our impact on the planet, and learn to live in harmony with nature. Lesson: responsibility for the future. Just as mammals have adapted to survive in the past, we have a responsibility to ensure they continue to thrive in the future. This means making choices that protect the environment, whether it's recycling, conserving water, or supporting conservation efforts. Every small action adds up, and just like in the story of evolution, small changes can have a big impact over time. Anecdote: the reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone. One inspiring story of how humans can positively impact the environment comes from Yellowstone National Park. In the 1990s, wolves were reintroduced to the park after being absent for nearly 70 years. The effect was astonishing. The wolves, by controlling the population of deer and elk, allowed plants and trees to recover, which in turn brought back other species like birds, beavers, and even fish. This is known as a trophic cascade, where one change in the food chain has ripple effects throughout the entire ecosystem. It's a powerful reminder that humans can play a positive role in protecting and restoring natural habitats. Chapter 16: humans and our animal relatives. We often think of humans as separate from the animal kingdom, but we're still mammals, part of the same evolutionary tree that gave rise to all the creatures around us. From our closest relatives, the primates, to the dogs and cats that live in our homes, we share a deep connection with the mammals of the world. Understanding this connection helps us appreciate the richness of life on Earth and the importance of protecting it. Humans have evolved incredible intelligence, technology, and societies, but we are still animals at our core. Our survival, like that of all other mammals, depends on our ability to adapt, innovate, and work together. Fun fact: human DNA and chimpanzees. Did you know that humans share about 98% of their DNA with chimpanzees? Despite our obvious differences, we are genetically very similar to our closest living relatives. This fact highlights just how connected we are to the rest of the animal kingdom. While we have developed complex societies and technologies, our biology still ties us to the other mammals with whom we share the planet. Anecdote: the bonobo's compassion. Bonobos, one of our closest primate relatives, are known for their peaceful and cooperative nature. Unlike other primates that may use aggression to solve disputes, bonobos rely on social bonding, grooming, and even sharing food to maintain harmony in their groups. They teach us an important lesson: cooperation and compassion are essential for a peaceful society. Just as bonobos thrive through their social bonds, humans can build stronger communities by focusing on empathy and collaboration. Conclusion: the story of mammals is a testament to the power of adaptability, resilience, and innovation. From tiny nocturnal creatures hiding from dinosaurs to the giant whales that now rule the oceans, mammals have continually found ways to survive and thrive in a constantly changing world. At the heart of their success are traits that we, as humans, share: intelligence, cooperation, and the ability to adapt to new environments. As the ultimate mammal, humans have shaped the world in ways no other species has before. But with that power comes responsibility. The future of mammals, including our own, depends on how we choose to live and interact with the planet. By learning from the story of evolution, we can make choices that ensure the survival and prosperity of all life on Earth. Whether it's the intelligence of elephants, the teamwork of wolves, or the adaptability of rodents, every mammal has something to teach us about survival and success. Our story is part of this larger story, one that stretches back millions of years and will continue into the future. Just as mammals have evolved and adapted to every challenge thrown at them, we too must continue to learn, grow, and protect the world we share with our animal relatives. The mammals may have started in the shadows of the dinosaurs, but today, they reign supreme, and we, as part of this incredible lineage, have the opportunity to shape what comes next. Thank you for completing another BrevRead video. Like and subscribe to see more of our videos. If you have a particular book that you would like us to summarize, please share it in the comments section.